Welcome back to AI Summit London. I'm Ben Wodecki, and I'm really pleased to be joined by Somdip Dey from the University of Essex and Nosh Technologies. Somdip, how's it going?
I'm doing great and super excited to be here. Thank you for the invite, Ben.
Honestly, when wearing an outfit like that, you deserve to be on this stage, I promise you. It's fantastic. Somdip, we're talking about embedded AI, a little bit about what you do, but first, can you talk us through the concept of what is embedded AI, how it differs from traditional approaches?
Absolutely. So, right now, most of the companies, when we are thinking about implementing or designing AI, data is the lifeblood, right? Now, when it comes to data, another big concern that comes up is the privacy. So a lot of people might not want to enable their data to be used for AI to be trained. So within the AI, now we have a new concept called embedded AI or on-device AI, where the AI model is specifically trained on an embedded system. So what happens, the AI gets trained on the user's data on their device without leaving without the data leaving the device itself, but the AI still learns whatever the outcome it needs to achieve. So that's embedded AI in a nutshell.
So that's part of your specialism as a teacher, but also you founded Nosh Technologies. Now, I'm really keen to talk about this a little bit more because it's really, really fascinating. So, am I understanding you're using AI to kind of reduce kind of food waste a little bit? Talk us through what that is, how you came about this idea, and also just how you're getting on.
Sure. It all started 10 years ago when I actually moved to the UK to pursue my master's back then. And there was an unfortunate event which forced me to survive by salvaging food from dumpsters, which were thrown away by other people. So, given my own experience with hunger, and I have also noticed how food were thrown away by others which could be completely consumed. So that gave me the idea, okay, coming from a technology standpoint, how can I leverage technology to reduce food waste? Although 10 years ago, I designed the world's first crowd food sharing platform that enabled people to share their leftover with other people in need. But that said, basically when you're sharing your leftover, you are shifting your waste with another people or to another people, which doesn't actually reduce waste itself. Now, when the pandemic came, we all had a change in scenario, so we were forced to go out and do bulk buying from shops. And what happened when you bulk buy, you actually end up with a lot of food, especially with shorter shelf life, that usually get wasted or thrown away. So again, coming from a technology background, then I went back to the drawing board, asked different other smart people that what do you think, how we can leverage technology to actually reduce waste rather than just shifting them. And AI was the obvious choice because AI is amazing in understanding pattern and then optimizing based on the learned knowledge, right? So then we ended up coming up with the embedded machine learning technology because, again, people do not want others to know how they are consuming or wasting food. But that also gave us the idea, okay, how can we implement AI model that will run specifically on the user's mobile phone to understand how people is consuming, wasting and storing food so that in a later stage, they can take a better decision on how to optimize waste. So that what ended up giving birth to the Nosh app. And I'm actually really glad to say that today the Nosh app has helped over 24,000 consumers to save more than 500,000 food products. And because food wastage is also related to carbon emission. Like globally, food waste contributes to almost 10% of carbon emission. So through saving like more than 500,000 food products, we actually also saved almost over 200 tons of carbon emission as well. So when we are using the embedded AI to reduce food waste, we are also helping the environment to become a bit better.
So that to me is true AI for good. You hear this term AI for good thrown out an awful lot, and you hear it from some of the bigger players, you hear it from some of the other from companies trying to work on this. This to me embodies that. What's your view on AI for good? Is it something that's genuine? Because this is a huge thing to want to reduce. What do you think about this?
Absolutely, AI for good is genuine. Today only, earlier during my talk, I was actually mentioning that AI has been doing a lot of good, not just in business perspective, but it's affecting all our daily lives. People have been going crazy with ChatGPT, right? Academics have been going crazy, but for a different reason. They have been going crazy because students have been using it to do their assignment and essays, right? But what often we forget that yes, with any technology, it can be used for good or bad. But oftentimes, people just get more focused on the bad side of a technology and forget that there are good sides to it.
Yeah.
That said, a lot of people right now, given a lot of automation, are being kind of overtaken with AI itself. So a lot of people are concerned about how especially the bad side of the AI. But we have to have an open and honest conversation about the good side itself. Because right now, AI is affecting positively more people's life than it's actually doing harm. So AI for good is not a myth, it's reality.
But is there enough? Is there enough being worked on?
So it's growing. I wouldn't say it's enough yet. Again, the more we educate people, the more we enable people to understand that AI has this good side to benefit us and the society in the long run. The traction of AI for good will also take over.
The reason why I ask that is because a lot of the focus here, but also just generally in the industry and tech, is enterprise. How can it help my business make money, get business growth, get new clients? When in actuality, I think there's a lot that needs to be done to step back and look at the wider market as a whole and say, well, actually, we can help fight climate change. And that's why I'm so excited about what you and your team are doing, because it's actual good. It's not just working on ROI. So what advice would you give to those out there, developers, who have this good style project, but don't know where to start, or if they're umming and ahhing because might not be profitable? What's your thoughts on it?
Okay, first of all, when it comes to implementing AI, right? Designing and implementing AI, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So I have seen over the years that because AI is booming, a lot of corporations especially, they are using like AI washing.
Okay.
So I'm not going to name the company,
That's
but
fair.
recently I saw an example, and even on social media, people were making fun of it. So one of the toothbrush producing company, manufacturing company, they are now advertising their automated toothbrush as AI powered. Is it really, does it really have an AI, or does it have a sophisticated algorithm that, let's say, helps you brush better, right? So we have to be careful about actually understanding what's the difference between what is an AI model and what is a smart algorithm. Yeah. They are not same, but AI models are smart algorithm, but it's not the opposite, like vice versa, right? So that said, I wanted to mention this because a lot of companies who, especially startup or entrepreneurs, who want to go in that direction, I don't want them to AI wash their technology. But that said, because AI itself is expensive to implement, so first they should understand whether their business problem actually needs an AI solution or not. If it does, then only yes, explore the idea, or else there are many traditional smart algorithms that or smart solution that they can build to provide their solution for good as well.
I mean, I'm glad that you brought up this AI washing as you've coined it, because it is a thing. Tech washing is a thing, and I must admit, over the last couple of months, more so towards the earlier part of the year, I had a lot of companies saying, "Hey, we're working with X AI company that I won't name," but in actuality, they're just using an API. They're not actually working with said company, which, you know, again, that could be misleading if you're not unsure about it. And I guess that kind of ties into what you're saying about that kind of concept of being aware and actuality of using AI for, you know, what is its actual purpose. So let's look ahead 12 months, because this is where we are, it's moving fast. Do you see AI for good increasing over the next 12 months? And also, where can you take Nosh over the next 12 months? What are you looking at? What can we expect?
Absolutely, a great question, by the way. So definitely in the next 12 months, we can see more and more companies designing and implementing AI for good, especially because, again, one of the takeaway from the London Tech Week in general was a lot more financier or investors are getting interested into climate tech. And AI for good is one of the solutions for climate tech, right? So the more and more investor we can see get into the space, we can also see like good or better AI for good models that are coming along. So definitely this space is going to grow. And that said, with Nosh Technologies, so in this week we are doing a big upgrade. So we started with the concept that how embedded machine learning can help to reduce food waste. But now we are moving towards how embedded machine learning can improve our food consumption and food health. So because our health is related to food a lot, right? So through Nosh, you can actually manage end-to-end when it comes to food consumption. And in the process, you can reduce food waste, save money, as well as save the environment.
Well, that's fantastic, especially as someone who needs to start a diet for the next AI Summit. I might have to try it myself. Somdip, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Have a great rest of the show.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you.
And you too. Have an amazing rest of the show ahead.